So, let's discuss the new builds and combos with the recent changes. I'm your host, yours truly, speaking on Khufu's behalf. A 5-year Lahn main in both PvE and PvP. But more importantly, let's first review what exactly was changed. If you're just here for the juice, add-ons, crystals, lightstones, and combo streams, we have them timestamped. Feel free to jump ahead. The November 17th Global Lab notes. If you're unfamiliar with Global Lab, it's basically a preview of the coming changes to our Korean friends on the KR server. Korea gets patched at first, followed by NA, EU, and so on. What caught my eye on this one in particular was the Lahn nerfs.
Let it out! Let it out, baby! Let it out! Why?
Pearl Abyss decided we'd become such a problem that they figured it'd be a good idea to gut us from our core. Quite literally, our core skills. 3 of our hitters were reduced to mummy dust. With Lahn lacking any built-in evasion debuffs or a plus 20 AP self buffer like most other class kits, it's safe to say this was a skill issue on PA's end. Apart from NA and every other region server in existence, Korean players also did not take lightly to the changes. Soon after, we'd see Korea receive said patch, but where the nerfs were supposed to be listed was left a blank. This begs the question, what happens next? This left us in the dark on whether or not we'll see any real change despite the rollbacks on nerfs. It was inevitable with revamps on such a scale that Lahn may fall behind as a grinder, but C-tier, where's our evasion shred? Yes. Hi. Hello, Lahn main here. I'm down bad for my kibbles field man. The tier list shown was done up and updated recently by a KR player. It's still too soon to tell its accuracy, but I'll have it in the description in case you'd like a peek. Finally, we've reached NA patch notes. The previous patches are now live, and as said before, no nerfs. And so, we lived happily ever after. But hey, Play Dance got a little area of effect buff. We take those. In the last video, we discussed the nerfs in detail. I'll drop that link in the description too. For now, we wait out the coming changes and dive in on what everybody's here for. Our first set, general add-ons, used in most spots when AP requirements are met. The TLDR on requirements is adding our total AP and monster AP to push beyond the spot soft cap AP requirement. I'll have the Garmonth on this link below. Once above soft cap, each AP tick will count as 0.05 AP, effectively making 30 monster AP, for example, plus 1.5 AP. In these instances, we can play around with Salpuri's extra monster AP for plus movement speed, and in turn, perhaps move plus crit damage on pin kick for a harder hitting front end combo. The same applies for accuracy. If we turn on the show misses effect in settings, we'll be able to see whether or not we'll need evasion debuffs and plus accuracy rate in our add-ons. In the event misses are appearing and our gear isn't enough to compensate, we take an uncapped set. The first general set of add-ons works fine in Gyphins, but if we're looking to min-max, or depending on our geared and AP brackets, we take the set shown here. Movement speed percent is a staple in PvE. It's a hot take, as no one's truly tested and recorded its potential frame by frame, but let me break it down simply. Take Phantom Dance for example, our Shift A or D side dash. Phantom Dance is a skill that moves our character and allows faster skill chaining in any combo, like we would with Salt Fury. Instead of using Salt by itself, we'll usually Phantom Dance for an instant cast, or skill chain as I call it. With that said, while add-on movement speed stacks with building skills movement speed, our Phantom Dance animations end sooner, chaining our next skill quicker. Multiply that by X amounts of Phantom Dances in a single hour. Our total DPS that hour, or trash per hour, will show a slight increase. Strange enough, I believe this applies not only to movement skills but any attack skill that physically steps our character in any cardinal direction. Lahn's Blade Dance, Blooming Nether Flower, even Last Hit on Cymbidium will find all activate quicker with movement speed percentages up. Don't take my word for it though. Take these add-ons and pop a couch your next hour. Our human set is simply the general set swap with plus human damage on what was Salp's plus monster damage, used only at Primal Giants or Bloody Monastery, at least until Pearl Abyss finally decides to give us Elvia Pirates. It's kinda wild to me that content has been held off this long now. It's back, yee. It says optional, due to the APM spike and functioning neural activity required to make this build work. Around the time COVID broke out, I spoke with another Lahn who was spamming to cancel off most core skills during combos. It allowed him to carry front-loaded special attack damage on the combo when normally those buffs were stuck one skill behind. At the time, the cancel costed a 5 seconds cooldown for 5 seconds uptime. Not only did it offer additional special attack damage, but weaved between the right skills at the right times, this Lahn was pumping additional damage by instant casting the cancel while buying permanent uptime on those special attacks. Ash Forest, back then, was ungrindable. He'd take plus DP and plus even rate on the cancel for enough wiggle room to grind comfortably, attaining one of the game's first 10 Deborka necklaces. In the past, there was no room for additional DPS or defensive buffers in a such Lahn's add-ons, until he taught me, Eye of the Phoenix. This glorious, absolute unit of a space bar has found itself a home in most situational high-end add-ons ever since. We don't take Eye of the Phoenix in low AP spots for most pack-to-pack spots. There's so much damage in the game now, between the recent revamps, last year's crystal system bearing additional crystals and so on, that it's become senseless in these high mobility spots. Eye of the Phoenix cancels a skill's animation for damage on hit and instant cast both on and off most core skills, fitting perfectly inside any combo. What's currently missing and could use a fix is canceling off the new Bleeding Hearts. Upon hitting spacebar after Bleeding Hearts, we find ourselves animation lock. The two skills, like Phoenix and most other skills, go hand in hand and could prove beneficial if updated. The meat of this skill comes from its cancels off of Salp, 4th hit Cymbidium, 4th hit Crescent Barrage, Blade Dance Animation 1, 2 or 3, and our Q buff, Stately Dignity. Here we have the highest damage-based crystal set. Our crit hit rate level more often than not caps at 5 out of 5 with buffs alone. Take a movement speed crystal for instances when using frenzy drafts. I'm running a 4 Macalage set here, but shortly realized I paid for a build for plus 1 AP and some combat EXP. Optionally take powers in place of the Maka set. We slot a Viper in place of the power depending on the spot's requirements and gear. When we meet a spot's AP cap, we can always swap 2 Makas or powers for 2 Gallantries. Running Quadalukas is a nice DPS padding with its bonus 4% attack speed. Seasoned characters can get away with less, but I still recommend pushing crystals sooner than later for more cash per hour. We prioritize our corruptions and powers out the gate. Build on with Dark Fangs so we can avoid running Spirit Perfumes for their crit hit rate level, leaving more money in our pockets. Next, a Swiftness Crystal for 5 out of 5 movement speed into our decimations, Autocrats, Rebellious, and Gearing. We'll come back to our PvP sets. First, let's take a look at our new PvE Lightstone Combos. All Out Attack is now the highest damage set available in uncapped spots. Substitute for target openings if in the event we only own one strike Lightstone, and stand still spots like Gyphon, Trolls, and Almonds will take vicious shadows, with optional swaps on watch your back and behind the shadow if on a budget, or again, we're stuck with a single strike. Our next bet are species sets. The Wildcam Sylvia, humans, and demi-humans are great alternative to the previously mentioned swaps. A personal favorite is Dedication. I'll probably swap off this set once achieving level 69. When all else fails, we take Trained Fists, whether on a budget or simply fresh out of season. As mentioned in the last video, I don't participate in T1 or T2s, but after consulting a fellow cook, we can take our T1 through T3 add-ons with the following setups, min-maxing gear enhancement levels accordingly. Cap crystals call for HP. Sharing the same base DP stats as a ranger, it's in our favor stacking HP for better trades. Running Quadalupers for spike attack speed is an option as well. 2 gallantries and 2 upgrades. The red gears are ignore knockdown resistance. Finally, the bond is a Kobalinus. If you own a Garmot or Kudum Heart in your fan and can spare a Gent special evasion, we take a second Kobalinus. This uncapped DR set offers a balanced defensive padding for trades when bombing or cleaning up 1s and 2s in skirmishes. Optionally, if you like to sacrifice your Soldier Kuderin, swap Rebellious for a Red Spirit, Heyday for a Bond Wing, and 2 Gen Ignore Resistance for RBF Colonies. I would hang on to the special evasions, but you could check in powers or Macalods in their place if you want to do human Mentos Coke cosplay. Evasion Lahn is showing some promise as of late, but still and always will remain a separate playstyle. Here we have the option on building tankiness. If you're looking for a small damage swap, we can take our BF Vipers in place of the Home and possibly the Gen Viper as well. In situations you find yourself fighting DR players more than evasion players, with the new add-on system we can avoid Deathblow and instead take Crocodile's Tooth and Cap Wars. Target openings is our new and cap go-to. Some people may mistakenly take all-out attack, but the loss in defense simply doesn't seem worth the damage trades. For a complete rundown on all PvP combos and a deeper dive into details behind the class, give the previous guide a peek. I'll have it linked in the description. Add-ons may change as more updates roll out this holiday. I'll have stuff updated in Discord, links below. I don't stream, but if you like watching players spontaneously combust, check these guys out. See you soon, kings, queens.